Salam and welcome everyone. So today we're going to be working on the question on the screen that says a possible wave function for an electron in a region of length L is sine 3 pi x divided by L. Normalize the wave function to 1. So the question is telling us a possible wave function of an electron in a region of length L is sine 3 pi x over L. So what this is telling us that the entire region is going to be have length L, okay? Length L. So basically, the initial is going to be x is equals to 0, and then the final is x equals to L. Just think about it like a ruler, right? If it's a 30 centimeter ruler or 40 or a 60 centimeter ruler, you would notice that you're dealing with a situation where the beginning of the ruler is 0, and then the end of the ruler is 30, 60, whichever the length of the ruler is. So think about it in that way. Anyways, then we're told that the possible wave function is actually sine 3 pi x over L. So the wave function, which is psi, so psi is the wave function, and the function is just simply sine 3 pi x over L. So now they want us to normalize the wave function to 1. So a normalized wave function, for those of you who don't know, maybe this is the first video you are watching on answering questions like this in your quantum chemistry or quantum mechanics class. By the way, this question is from the Atkins Physical Chemistry 11th edition textbook. And yeah, this is a question from 7B. So the normalized wave function would just be the value n, okay, times the wave function, where n, okay, is what you call a normalization factor or a normalization constant. So basically, our final answer is going to be a normalized wave function, and it's going to be the value of n times the wave function. So in order for us to go from all of this information to the answer that we're looking for, we have to first of all note that to determine the formula that we're going to use, we have to remember that the probability of finding a particle, or the probability of a particle, just say you're finding a particle of a particle, is in the region dx, okay, is equal to the normalization factor times the wave function squared dx, which has to equal 1. So basically, the probability of finding a particle or that finding that a particle is in the region dx is equal to this, and this is actually equal to 1. In order for you to be able to like know what you're doing whenever you hear this, is for you to imagine yourself as that particle and imagine dx as the whole world, right? And it's important for you to know that in order for anybody to find you, the probability of finding you in this entire world is 1, because there's only one of you, right? If I've been to 50 different countries, or I've lived in 50 different countries, the probability of finding me in one of those countries, right, is 1. You may be thinking, well, the probability of finding me is 50. No, the probability of finding me in any of those countries is 1, because I'm only one person and I cannot be in one place at a particular time. So the probability of finding a particle in a region dx, think about yourself as a particle and the region dx as, let's say, the whole world, or in those 50 different countries, is just simply 1. So in order for us to write this mathematically, we can write it mathematically as the integration symbol. So you integrate n times the wave function, all squared dx, is equal to 1. So this is what we're going to use to solve the question, where we know what the wave function is, and we're going to be solving for, we don't know what the normalization constant is, but as I progress in solving this question, it's going to be easier for you to understand. So that would mean is just you having a situation where you have the integration here. That would be n times the wave function that we're given. The wave function is sine 3 pi x over L. So multiplied by, sorry, just n sine, okay, 3 pi x divided by L, okay, all squared dx is equal to 1. Okay, so that is it. Now let's not also forget that they told us that it is over um a length L. So they gave us a specific length. Like dx is the whole world, but the 50 countries are the length. So think about it that way. So x equals to 0 and x equals to L. So x equals to 0 and x equals to L. So the probability of finding the person in those 50 countries against the whole world dx. So just think about it that way to be able to know what is going on here. So that, anyways, you have the integration symbol, x equals to 0, x equals to L. So n sine 3 pi x divided by L all square will just be n squared sine squared 3 pi x over L, okay? Dx is equal to 1. Now, going forward, I'm going to ignore equals to 1 here until we have successfully integrated everything, just because I don't want our work to have extra information that is not necessary at this point. Anyways, now we go back to our knowledge of calculus. We see that n squared is a constant. We can bring that out. So that would just be n squared. Integration symbol x to 0, x equals to L. So you end up with sine square 3 pi x over L, okay, dx. Yes, this is it. This is it. This is it. Anyways, now you're going to be wondering, how do I go? How do I solve this? Let's remember that in our knowledge of calculus, when you did calculus 1, calculus 2, as well as pre-calculus, you cannot solve the integration of sine square of x, sine square of sine square of 2x or sine square of anything. You can't solve it. But there's another way to do it whenever you're dealing with math. If you cannot directly solve something, you can substitute something else that is the exact value of that thing in order to make your work easier. Now, when we look at our trig identities, we're going to see that sine squared 3x, okay, is the same thing as 1 over 2, open brackets, 1 minus cosine of 6x. That is it. So now, using this knowledge, here we have 3x, here we only have, here we have 3x, here we have 3, we have x. We're just going to leave this pi over L because it's still part of this particular function. But we've basically gotten our way of solving this. We have gotten it already. We will just substitute this to and integrate that. So that would be n squared, okay? Now, let me go back to our color. So that would be n squared, x equals to 0, x equals to L, okay? 1 over 2, okay, multiplied by 1 minus cosine of, you have 6x, that would just be 6. We have pi, we're not throwing away the pi because it's still part of the question. So 6 pi x. So we have successfully written the 6 and the x here. So great job. 6 pi x. So divided by L dx. So that is it. Of course, it's constant. 1 over 2 is a constant. Our knowledge of calculus tells us that we can just simply bring that out. So that will be n squared over 2. Okay. Okay, we bring that out. And now that will now be integrating from x equals to 0 to x equals to L. That will be 1 minus cosine 6 pi x over L dx. So this is basically how you're going to do this. So anyways, you're going to integrate now. Perfect time to integrate. N squared over 2. Let's not forget that. When you integrate 1, you end up with just x. And when you integrate cosine, you end up with sine. So that would be sine here, 6 pi x over L. But let's not forget, like when you integrate cosine x, you get sine x. But when you integrate cosine 6 pi x over L, you're just going to have sine 6 pi x over L divided by the differentiated value of whatever this is. So that's going to be divided by, when I differentiate 6 pi x over L, I end up with divided by 6 pi over L. Okay, so that is it. And let's not forget, we're going from x equals to 0 to x equals to L. Never forget this. It's very important because that's what we're going to be substituting. So that would be n squared over 2. Okay, that would be x minus sine 6 pi x over L divided by 6 pi over L. When you do this and you do it, we know now that when you divide a fraction, so when we do divided by 6 pi L, it's the same thing as multiplying by L divided by 6 pi. So that would just be L divided by 6 pi. So we have rearranged it. Sine 6 pi x over L. I know I'm not supposed to be doing it everything step by step because you guys are already probably taking this in your junior or senior year, but I'm just going to explain. Remember, if you say 5 divided by 2 over 3 is the same thing as 5 times 3 over 2. That is basically what I did here. So I don't want anyone to be confused that how did we all of a sudden get it different? We just use our knowledge of fractions. So yeah, now that we've done it, we can now substitute x equals to L and x equals to 0. So n squared over 2. So when you substitute for L first, that would just be substituting x for L. So that would be L here minus L over 6 pi sine, okay, 6 pi, substitute x for L, 6 pi L divided by L, okay, minus, so x equals to 0, that would be 0 minus L over 6 pi sine, when you put x equals to 0 in 6 pi x, that's just because basically saying sine 0. I don't have to like write that down. So anyways, so that would be, yeah, that's it. So that would be n squared over 2 L over 6 pi. Now you see 6 pi L divided by L, cancel out the L. Sine of 6 pi is just simply 0, okay, minus 0, minus sine of 0 is just another 0. So yeah, so many zeros. So we now see that n squared over 2 multiplied by L, 0 here, just multiply by 0 here, I'll give you 0. And of course, all of this is 0. So we can just say n squared over 2 L. Perfect. Now you're going to be wondering, this is a little confusing. But we cannot just get our answer as n squared L divided by 2. Let's not forget that at the beginning, I told you I'm going to remove our equals to 1 just because I did not want to put unnecessary information while we're still integrating. So I'm just going to remind you that the probability of finding a particle in the region dx is just the integrating the value n times the wave function all squared dx is actually equal to 1. So this is just going to be n squared divided by 2L is equal to 1, not 2. That's a very, very bad mistake. So it's equal to 1. So that would be n squared, okay, over 2L is equal to 1. So that would be n squared L over 2. Yeah, let's skip this part. Let's just cross multiply. So that would be n squared L divided is equal to 2. And we're going to solve for n because we're trying to solve for the normalization factor. So divide it by L here, divide by L here, divide L. So because we cannot cancel that out. So that would be n squared divided by 2 over L. To determine what n is, we will find the square root of n. So that would be, find the square root of n squared. So finding the square root of n squared will equate n to be the square root of 2 over L. So the normalization factor, okay, or the normalization constant, whatever you want to call it, depending on whatever textbook you're using, or whatever, however your professor calls it, is going to equal the square root of 2 over L. And that is basically the answer or part of the answer to this question. Now, they've told us to normalize it to 1. Well, our work is still not done because they told us to normalize the wave function. So the normalized wave function, as I have explained at the beginning of this video, is just simply n, okay, times the wave function. Okay, it's just simply n times the what? Times the wave function. So that would be n times the wave function. So the answer would just simply be the square root 2 over L times sine 3 pi x over L. And this is basically the answer to this question. If you have any questions, suggestions, or concerns, please put in the comment section. If you want me to do other problems, or maybe problems that are not in the physical chemistry access level edition textbook, try to email me at shahabitutoring@gmail.com. If you're a student who is struggling in any of your STEM-related courses, whether you're in middle school, high school, or college, I am the tutor for you. I help students succeed in all their STEM-related courses, as well as mentor them so that they can be the best version of themselves in academia. I also wanted to mention that if you want to support this channel, You can support by telling me videos and topics you would like to see in order for me to grow it. I want this to be a hub for students to always come in and get the knowledge that you're seeking and end up living um, fulfilled. So, in order for you to support me, share this with your friends, as well as subscribe, as well as tell me what you would like to see on my channel. If you're still confused about how I solve this, try to rewatch the video. I wish you guys all the very best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.